Hello, dear friend. How are you today? I'm excited to bring you this different style of yin practice, which we will be doing at the wall. I hope you have a wall that you can utilize for this practice, as it will just be something different for you. And the wall just gives us a little extra support and a fun way to just do something different. So, with that, we'll be using blocks and a blanket. You can always bring in any other props if you want. I will talk you into different ways that you can modify the pose or invite in other props if you have them, just to make the pose extra delicious. As this practice not only gets to be different and fun as we're doing it at the wall, but also still very relaxing and restorative. Okay? Okay, our first pose is going to be just a seated pose at the wall. Now, a couple of options here. If you want to sit on a blanket to elevate the hips, you can use your blocks underneath your knees, as we are literally going to sit in this pose just as it is a pose. So just like we do our other poses, staying in it from about 3 minutes, we're going to do the same in this seated pose. And the reasoning why is we're going to focus on posture. So typically most of us, because we are on our phones a lot or on the computer, we tend to round forward. So this is a great practice while we're at the wall to really open up the shoulders and draw those shoulders back, as well as the head. So we also tend to have turtleneck or turtle head, which this, I'm going to actually take my clip out here because it's hitting the wall. Having the back of your head up against the wall, aligning, your neck, head over heart, heart over pelvic floor, hips. Now, if you have a um, extreme interior pelvic tilt, it might feel good to have a small pillow or blanket at the low back. So find your pose here, bringing in any props that you feel you need. And of course, while we're here in this pose, if you feel you need to adjust, you can always do that. Main thing here is I want you focusing on your posture. So get yourself settled, draw the shoulders back. And this may feel very foreign, especially for the spine, for the back, for the head. But this is a great practice. And then you're just going to let the shoulders soften. So even though we are opening up across the chest, drawing the shoulders back, still want to invite in the softness that we do in our yin practice. With your head up against the wall, relaxing your facial muscles, relaxing your jaw. Let your belly soften. Closing your eyes. Find a place where the arms can be at ease. And once you get settled, invite in a cleansing breath. So inhale through the nose, sending your breath all the way to the lowest part of your belly. And an open mouth exhale. And returning to the natural flow of your breath, breathing in and out through the nose, keeping the lips closed. And bringing your attention to your breath while you're here. With our back up against the wall, this is a really great way to feel into our breath. Notice where your breath naturally resides. If it's in the chest, if it's through the diaphragm or to the low belly. Noticing both the front and the back side of your body on your inhalation and exhalation. Noticing any challenges that your body or your mind may have with this simple pose. Let's take 3 more slow, deep breaths here. Cleansing breath, inhale through the nose, send the breath all the way to the low belly, low back, hips. Feel everything fill up on that inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Opening the eyes. Very nice. Excuse me. Let's extend the legs out, give them a little wiggle, a little shake. And then we will bring that left heel in, extend your right leg out, and snug yourself up to the back end of your mat. Or not the back end of your mat, excuse me, up against the wall. And then you're going to place your right hand to the floor, and we're going to reach that left arm up and over, coming into a side bend here. And we want to keep that shoulder open, so draw that left shoulder back. You can bend the elbow if you have any discomfort in the shoulder, which I do. It's a little impingement I get challenged with sometimes. Good. And then keeping the back of your head up against the wall as well. And we're not going to stay here too long, as it can be a little bit much for that extended arm. Focusing though on opening up the chest and having the support of the back or the wall for the back. Let your head be heavy, maybe dropping that right ear towards the shoulder, or maybe you look down to the right. Whatever feels better for you in your neck. And we're going to take one more breath here. You're going to lower that left arm down. Keep your right head tilted. Engage your core, and you're going to bring the upper body back up, still keeping that right ear towards the right shoulder. Taking a little neck release here. Both hands can be to the mat. Roll those shoulders back and down. I definitely feel a deep stretch here. Now you're going to slowly turn the head, bringing your chin towards that right shoulder. Keep it tucked in as you make this movement, this transition. Draw that left shoulder down as you press the shoulders back. And now slowly roll the chin down, bringing it to the center of your chest. Nice slow movement. Keep the shoulders drawn back and down. Take a cleansing breath to the back of your throat. And then slowly bring the head back up. Back of the head to the back of the wall. Bring your hands to your thighs. Take a pause here. Big breath in. Big breath out. And we'll switch legs. So bringing that right heel in, extend your left leg out. Snugging up against the wall. Left palm to your mat or to the floor. Reaching that right arm up and over, coming into your side bend here. Back of the head to the wall. And then again, maybe let the head be heavy even more, dropping the left ear to the shoulder or turning the head looking down. Keep that right shoulder back. Taking a few breaths here. One more breath. Lowering that right arm down first. And keeping the head tilted, left ear, left shoulder as you bring your upper body back to center. Pausing here. Both hands to the mat. Shoulders back. Back of the head to the wall. Rotating the head, bringing the chin to the left shoulder. And then bringing the chin all the way to the center of your chest. Just drop the chin down. Slowly move the head. Center of your chest. Chin is tucked. Draw the shoulders back. Take a cleansing breath here. Slowly bring the head back up to center. Back of the head to the wall. Hands come to the thighs. Pause here. Breathe here. And opening the eyes. Very nice. Let's just bring the legs forward once again. Give them a wiggle. Give them a shake. And now we're going to make our way down onto our backs. I am going to use the blanket just so I am not on the hardwood floor here. So I'm just going to put my blanket here. Give me a little extra padding. And blocks over here. All right, how do you get yourself to the wall? Just turn sideways. Get your whichever hip you're on, your right side or your left side, that hip closest to the wall as you can. Come down to the forearms and you kind of just keep wiggling yourself up here. Come onto your back and then just wiggle yourself so that your bum is right up against the wall. Good. All right. And bringing your legs all the way up the wall here. Okay, a couple of different options you can do. If you need some extra padding underneath the head just to keep the cervical spine nice and aligned. You can bring a blanket here or pillow. You can also bring a blanket underneath your hips if you have any sensitivity in this area of the low back or the hips. And first, so we're going to come back to legs up the wall, but first we're going to do a few other poses. So with your legs up the wall now you're just going to let your right leg slide all the way down. So we're going to come into an L shape. Now you can grab one of your blocks and put this so that your leg can be supported here. Maybe you put the block up at a higher level, depending on the flexibility of your right leg, hamstring, inner thigh. So I know this may be a very different pose, but once we get into it, it does feel good. So you're going to let that right leg be heavy. Left leg is resting up against the wall. And now you can just bring your arms out to the side, let the shoulders melt back and down. Relaxing your facial muscles. Give yourself about a minute to make any adjustments that you need. As your body settles into this pose, just working with it. Breathing in and out through your nose. And as we stay here a little longer, maybe you feel that right leg is able to open up a little more, so you can maybe adjust the height of your block. Just notice how it feels in the hip. Always want to be supporting the body. Let's take a cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Fill up your belly, your back. Open mouth. Exhale. Bringing your right hand to that right leg, outer knee or thigh, and support bringing that right leg back up. And then we're going to hug that knee in. And then we will switch to the other side. So extend your right leg all the way up. And then we're going to let that left leg just slide down the wall, coming into your L on this side. And again, just let the arms be open to the side, or maybe it feels good to reach the arms all the way back or come into cactus. Just play around what feels good for you here. Relaxing your jaw, your facial muscles. And once again, noticing any part of your body or your mind that might be being challenged here. It is very often when we try something new that our mind, our ego want to come into play and question, analyze, or just challenge ourselves in not such a good way. So just giving yourself permission to observe if that's where the mind is at or the body is at. And then just simply reassuring both that everything is okay. It's okay to try something new. We are all good. All is well. Taking one more breath on this side, cleansing breath. And bringing your left hand to that outer left thigh, slowly bringing the leg back up. And then hugging that left knee in. And now sending that left leg back up. Now we'll come into our reclined pigeon pose, or also known as swan in Yin. So you're going to bend that right knee, bring your right ankle on top of your left thigh, and then you're going to bend that left knee and just bring the foot to the wall and stop where you're feeling that stretch in that right hip. So this may be very different to what our reclined swan looks like when we don't have the wall. So you might not be able to bring that left foot all the way down, and that is perfectly fine. And then other little option you can do here is just bring that right hand to rest on or kind of prop that right knee up and away from you. Or you can just let the right knee fall in towards you. And bringing the arms out to the side. You don't need to press into the wall with that left foot. Just let gravity support you here. Let the wall support you. You don't need to keep the low back pressed to the mat. Breathing in and out through your nose, keeping the mouth closed. Taking a cleansing breath. And sliding that left foot back up the wall. Bringing your right foot up. Maybe wiggle the legs out a little bit. And then we'll switch to the other side. So bending that left knee, the left ankle on top of the right thigh. And then start bending into that right knee. And again, you don't have to actively press into the wall with that right foot. And taking one more breath here. Sliding that right foot back up. Release the left leg. Wiggle the legs out. And from here, we will come into butterfly pose. So soles of the feet come together. Now I like to bring a block right here and just let my feet fall to the block. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can also bring the blocks to support underneath the knees or the thighs. And you can also just rest your arms, elbows to your mat, and just holding the knees here. So not pressing the knees, actively pressing the knees away from you, just giving some support here for the knees. Maybe readjust your head, tucking the chin in towards the chest as you lower your head back down, just to keep that spine, cervical spine, nice and elongated. Let's take a cleansing breath once you get settled into your pose. And you can also bring the arms into cactus if that feels good. And as your hips begin to open up here in this pose, you may feel the feet, the legs kind of slide down inch by inch down the wall. That's perfectly fine. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. cleansing breath. And removing your props and supporting, bringing the knees in towards one another as you begin to slide the legs up your wall. And then just wiggle the legs out again. Good. And now coming into a wide-legged pose. So just slide the legs out, let them glide right down your wall. And bringing in your blocks here. So finding where the level or the position where you feel the blocks support your legs closer to the thighs. And just as you did in your butterfly pose, as the hamstrings begin to stretch and the legs, the hips kind of just all come into this place of opening up even more just on their own, supported by gravity, you'll feel the legs start sliding down the wall a little by little. No need to be scared. The legs will open up when they're ready, and then you can just adjust your blocks accordingly. Here, maybe you rest your hands on your belly, or again, you can open the arms out to the side or come into cactus. Always just inviting the placement of the arms, what feels good for the particular pose that you're in. And settling into the surrendering of this pose. Surrendering any challenges. Taking a cleansing breath here. And we want to very carefully come out of this pose. Take your blocks out or any props that you used away from the legs. Bring your hands to the outer thighs. You can bend the knees slightly and then just support bringing the legs up. Oof, I'm feeling that myself. Bring the knees towards the chest. Open up the legs and just take a little windshield wiper side to side here with your feet to the wall. Pause in center, extend the legs up. Just stretch your right leg all the way out. It doesn't need to be up against the wall. Maybe bring it a little closer in towards you. And then bend that right knee, foot to the wall, and extend your left leg all the way up. And again, let that leg fall in towards you, so away from the wall. And then bend that left knee, foot to the wall once again. All right, and now move your blocks off to the side or any of your props just off to the side, still in arm's length. And then we're going to walk our feet down the wall over to the right. So we're going to come into a supine twist. So you're just going to keep walking your feet down the wall. Your feet will be up against the wall. Your bum may be a little bit away from the wall, and that's perfectly fine. And we're going to open the arms out to a T. So left arm is going to come all the way over to the left. Here, maybe if the shoulders are really tight, you can use a block underneath that left arm to give it some support. You can also maybe grab a block and put it in between the legs, in between the knees to give you some support. If that feels better for you. Actually, I'm going to do that. That feels pretty good. And wiggle that right arm a little further out. So think of trying to wiggle that left shoulder blade out, opening up the chest a little bit more across the collarbones. Maybe you let the head fall to the left. Supine twist. Once you get settled, taking a cleansing breath. Relaxing all of your facial muscles, your neck, your shoulders. Let the belly be soft. Let the legs be in a comfortable position without any activation. Taking a cleansing breath. If your head was turned to the left, bring it back to center. If you had a block or anything in between the legs, take that out. And you're going to start walking your feet back up the wall. Come back to center. And before we go to the other side, let's extend the legs all the way up. So legs up the wall, just take a pause here. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Bending the knees once again. Feet are at your wall. And then you're going to walk your feet down the wall to the left, coming into your supine twist over to the left side. Again, maybe bringing a block in between the legs, the knees. Adjusting your shoulders here, opening the arms out to a T. Turning your head to the right if that feels good. And settling here. Taking a few more breaths on this side. Cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Fill up your belly. Open mouth, exhale with a sigh. Turning the head back to center. Removing your props. Walking your feet up the wall. And then extending the legs all the way up the wall once you come to center. Pausing here. This will be our final pose, legs up the wall. So you may want to add a little extra padding underneath your hips if you want to use a blanket or a pillow here. Let the feet be just about hip width distance. I don't want you to feel you need to hold the legs in together as you separate them just a bit. They'd have some room just to relax. Letting the weight of your hips, your back sink into the floor, as well as the shoulders and your head. Relaxing all of the facial muscles around the eyes, cheeks, your jaw. Let your tongue kind of just fall to the back of the mouth. You can have a micro bend in the knees so you don't feel like you're having to activate and pressing the knees to the wall. It might just be your heels and your bum up against the wall. That's perfectly fine. This pose is known to help alleviate any stress or tension, headache, also to calm the nervous system, bring the body back to a parasympathetic state. And this is also a great pose if you're on your feet a lot. And let's take one more breath here, cleansing breath. And then bending the knees, wrapping the arms around your legs, taking a few rocks side to side here. Good. And now making our way out of this pose as gracefully and mindfully and carefully as we can. We're just going to roll over to our right side. And let's pause here in a fetal pose. Take a big breath in, big breath out. And then pressing yourself up. You might need to scooch away from the wall and then swing the legs around. Come back up against your wall. Resting here. Take a cleansing breath. Palms of the hands to the heart, bowing our heads. Thank you so much, my friends, for taking this time for you today. I hope you found this yin practice at the wall to be something different and challenging you in a good way. And I hope this practice served you well. From my heart to yours, namaste.